you were to look back and speak to your 18-year-old self now, or another woman going through something similar now, what support or advice would you give to her for how to respond afterwards?
It's a great question. It's actually, I've discussed this with my twins, my twin daughters who are 19 now. And when this whole rape thing surfaced, they were, early teens, and I talked about it. I said, hey, don't ever get pushed into a situation where you feel unsafe. Because part of my mind was saying, hey, this doesn't feel good. And, either with drink, or I think I had like 2 drinks or whatever, Spain, you can drink, it's 18, you can drink early in Europe. So you just don't listen to that. So you really do have an innate sense of safety. And then so it did happen, I didn't listen to that. And then really what would have been the right thing is for my friend and I to talk about it. But there was such shame. There was such feeling also just feeling really dirty, that I just wanted to shut it out of my way. And also we were in Spain. My Spanish was okay, but it's not like you go to a group there. This was years ago as well. These days, thank God, there are so many groups that you can go to. My real advice to what my daughters, to any young woman or any woman going through this, or a man even, is go and talk about it. Don't hide it. Don't put it away and because it just festers. That shame festers when you don't talk about it. If you talk about it with someone, you can get some empathy. You can actually get it off your chest, and it's much easier to move through again, like what I said earlier.
Yeah. I've known so many women in my life that have gone through, either grown up in family situations where that was happening, or similar situations, people they knew that happened to them, like the experience you shared. And there's so many, and it's such the common thing that of women internalizing what happened, and then just not, like taking on the shit that the man puts on them, all that sense of dirtiness, or sense of wrongness, or sense of whatever. I mean, my theory is that a lot of that is energetically projected from the man onto the woman within that experience.
Absolutely.
Because part of why he's doing that, he's carrying that sort of what we call that, like, toxic energy.
Yeah.
And then women just staying quiet about it, not saying, these men just out walking on the streets. And sometimes I'll get caught up, I'll have an emotional charge, and I have for a long time, of like, fuck these men, why are they walking the streets? They should be in prison, but then learning the deeper dynamics of what's going on, learning, for me as a man, gaining more empathy for what's actually going on for a woman and the complexity of that experience, right? Which is why not
It
being
starts
spoken.
so early, right? I mean, I remember my uncle touching me inappropriately when I was probably 8, and that lasted until I was 15. And then at one point, I just snapped at him, like, "What the fuck?" I was in the kitchen with him, and he helping, and he rubbed against me, and I'm just like, "No, no, no! I just don't want this anymore." And I remember storming out to the living room where his wife and my mother were sitting. And I'm just like, he's just such a fucking old dirty man, just get him to stop. And the wife just like completely shook, and my mom just like, so I stormed out, walked home. And I remember talking about it with my mom probably a few months later, because I didn't do anything about it. And she said, "Oh yeah, I was molested by an uncle too. That's just what happens." So that is what you then bring into the rest of your life. It's just what happens. So, but and what we then do is we just take it on. And instead of actually expressing and talking to someone, or doing some processes to get rid of all that charge that we carry, but we then carry that shame, and it's like, oh, okay, well, this is my role. I should be accepting this.
How can a man, how can men, how can a man or men in general do their part to be supportive presences so that women feel safer and more able to talk about these things if they happened and to seek out support? How can we as men be more supportive presences for women who this has happened to?
I think by feeling safe. I mean, one of the things that drew me to you is that you really feel safe and super grounded. So, I can feel that you've done a lot of work to clear your, emotional upsets or whatever might have been holding you back. But you can feel that in the man. You can feel it in a woman. You can feel it in the man. But you can really feel this like, oh, my nervous system can relax with you. Because that's it, the nervous system catches on to all of this. It's like taking a deep exhale, and it's like, oh, I can settle here, I can feel held. And sometimes it is just by the man or the other person regulating the woman's nervous system. And it's by being there, it's by being attentive, by not sexually projecting on her, but really allowing her to kind of blossom and to land. Because so often where we're in relationship or we're meeting someone and we feel that something's off, but we're like trying to pull it out of them. With women, what you actually want to do is you want to just sit there and really allow her to blossom, and she'll open up.
Right. So instead of like as a man, like if it was my daughter or my sister or a close friend of mine, instead of saying, what, you let that happen to you, we need to tell the police now, he needs to be in prison, and then her nervous, she's like, oh my god, I can't even handle your response right now I'm not being helpful, is
Yeah,
what you're
you need
saying.
to do your work first.
But, and then I need to, what would be most helpful to her, what I hear you saying is my initial response could be more of regulating that energy, regulating the nervous system, bringing the energy down, offering her empathy and support, asking her what she needs.
Exactly. So no, let's do this and this and that, but really just reflecting back and saying, what can you need and how can I support you here? And really, and know that often she'll be like, I don't know, I don't know. It's like, okay, so let's just take a breath together. And you just often just being there. And they might want to hold you and cry, or punch your shoulders, whatever. But it's
Yeah.
not getting up in that hype. It's like, fucking hey, what happened? And we need to do something. But really just acknowledging, like, man, this is shit that happened to you, and let it all out. I can handle it. If you want to vent, if you want to cry, if you want to do anything, I'm here. I'm holding you. I'm here to hold space. Just know that you're safe with me.
Thank you so much for doing the work, just to have your own work, to have the grounded presence, to even be talking about this and sharing this in the way that you are. And I think this is really, really valuable for men and for women, just hearing what you're sharing about how to approach this, right? Because it's so, like you said, kind of your mom's response was that it's normalized.
Yeah.
It's still so normalized. And so I would love to see us as humanity coming together to really offer a more supportive presence to keep clearing this and just support the people who this is happening to. So it happens to women and men, right? But there's a
Absolutely.
particular type of experience that's much more commonly happens to women by men. So that's something I've always felt passionate about, like, okay, learning how do I actually be a supportive presence for that. So thanks for sharing what you just shared.
Right. You just keep doing what you're doing because you're grounded. You have people feel safe and seen. So definitely.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you got value out of this video, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you click the bell so that you get notifications for the next videos that we put out. We've got a lot of amazing content, videos, and interviews coming up, so you'll definitely want to get the notifications because we're interviewing some amazing people. We've got a lot of cool things happening. So you're going to want to make sure you get those notifications. And then you can also follow Embody the Practice on Facebook and Instagram. You can also go to my website, embodythepractice.com. You can contact me. You can learn more about the coaching that I offer and learn more about how we can support you to live a greater life of strength, health, and happiness in all areas of your life. So I look forward to connecting with you more. And until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, and stay healthy out there.